what was the highlight of your time away from the building here?
Football wise or just life wise? I got to spend a lot of time with family. I'd say get a break. First off season, so kind of didn't know what to expect. As far as said the same thing in my exit interview. As far as guys leaving, who was going to leave with Mike, players and coaches. So I didn't really know what to expect, but it was awesome for me to get away. I got to spend some time with Nate, got to spend some time with the receivers, got to spend a lot of time with my family, and got to get good work in down in SoCal. So it was awesome for me, time away. Now I'm back at OTAs, and I kind of do the same thing for those 40 days away.
Was there one thing more than the others that you really kind of honed in on to work on mechanically or anything else?
I didn't try to rewrite anything. I kind of dealt with my finger throughout the season, so for me it was kind of getting that back and getting healthy and feeling back to myself. I felt like towards the end of the season I wasn't the best version of myself overall. It was a long season, long pre-draft process of me not being in school, and everyone says it's going to be, but you don't really realize it until it happens. And I think the finger for me was the biggest thing, just as far as throwing the ball. I kind of had to learn how to throw the ball differently, without kind of using my pointer finger. I guess just because of where it was at throughout the year. But now, I feel like I'm in a great spot health-wise, and throwing the ball well and feel really good.
Is that more about physical or mental?
Physical, I would say. Yeah, I had fun, man. It was hard to not. We played an NFC Championship game, so it was hard to not have a fun year. Got to learn a lot. Got to spend time with, that locker room was a ton of fun last year, and I know it's going to be a ton of fun again this year. But yeah, more physical standpoint.
How different does it feel from just a confidence perspective coming to this OTAs from last year?
And last year I was swimming a little bit. It was hard to not be. Drafted, and then 10 days later rookie mini camp. So just trying to keep up with the other guys in the room. But yeah, I feel very, very different this year for sure.
The company line last year was that your finger got better just in time for the Houston game. In hindsight, was it still an issue, even not far into the season, and were you dealing with it then?
I could manage it, but it's a finger, so it's hard. I guess the process for me was it didn't get straight all the way was kind of the issue. So right away I couldn't squeeze what I didn't throw after that preseason game. And then as the season goes on, it kind of starts straightening more and more, and swelling goes down. But it's just a thing that takes time.
Do bad habits kind of creep in when you're having to compensate for a bent?
It's kind of just like I said, finishing off a different finger with your throw is something that you do kind of subconsciously. So it's for me, it wasn't something I was thinking about throwing, but it just it's kind of just happens. You find a way to adapt, you find a way to throw.
Your last finger was the middle finger then?
I couldn't tell you exactly, but yeah, it was kind of between there. When your finger doesn't straighten all the way, it's hard to finish off that finger totally, if that makes sense. But yeah, we don't need to talk about it anymore. I feel like I'm in a great spot now. It's 100%.
You didn't have to have a procedure, right?
No, nothing like that.
I apologize. Just one more thing.
Finger?
Yeah.
It looks good, I promise.
It's gonna be a really good one. When did the finger become normal? Like okay, I can straighten it.
Towards the end of the season, it got close.
Okay.
But it was just a lot going on at that time. But I'd say when I came back, I took a few weeks, about a month off of throwing, football, everything. When I came back, I felt back to myself.
Okay, what are you hoping to accomplish these few weeks? You're missing some mainstays on offense, some starters, Debo, other linemen and stuff. What are you trying to accomplish until those guys come back, and how much do you miss them?
I miss those guys a lot. Trent, Debo, Alex, Matt, all those guys. They're just good guys to be around. JV's back in the building, Jason, so it's awesome to see him. We got real close last year, throughout him being in and out. But, for me, I just want to get better. This OTAs, I think that's what it's all about for me. I'm not really trying to prove anything to anyone. Obviously, I'm going to continue to build my confidence and build guys' confidence. And we got a lot of new guys, Danny Gray, Ray, Malik. We got, 10 new guys I feel like to throw to. And now a few more in the tight end room too, and running backs. So it's a ton of fun for me to get to feel guys and go out today and make mistakes and come back in the film and learn from them, why guys are doing what they're doing on certain routes, making certain decisions. So yeah, for me it's all about getting better over these next few weeks.
You alluded to it a bit earlier, but it was a marathon last year. Counting the preseason, I think 23 games. in retrospect, that and the playoff run, what was the biggest thing that you learned kind of persevering through that marathon?
I mean, I learned everything was new, so it's hard to, I guess, put my finger on one thing. You know, your rookie year, you go through it. You know, your first playoff game is your first, first wild card game is your first wild card game. Your first NFC championship is your first NFC championship. So, I mean, throughout the year, everything was new. It's my first week 1, first week 2, first week 3, and so on. So, I mean, I was thankful for Jimmy, thankful for Nate, thankful for all the coaching staff and the guys in the locker room. Like I said, I think that for me was the coolest thing. To be able to be a part of that locker room last year. I feel that same type of energy this year, even without Debo yet, and Trent, and the rest of those guys that aren't here yet. So I'm super excited for this year.
Trey, you reached out to all the rookies when they were drafted. Where did that originate?
I mean, a lot of guys reached out to me when I got drafted, so I felt it was definitely, necessary and easy to pay it forward. It wasn't anything crazy. I saw some stuff. I didn't FaceTime them or anything like that. I think they had more important people to talk to at the time. But yeah, just text them, say congratulations. Can't wait to get them out here. Most of them texted back. Most of them.
Tell us you didn't.
You seem like a natural leader. Last year was weird where you really couldn't be a leader. Do you feel like you're enabled to assert yourself in that way now?
Yeah, just continue to find my role. Last year was, like you said, definitely different. But for me, it's I want to keep getting better. That's my focus right now. The leadership stuff is, it's just being a good guy in the locker room. But that's stuff that's earned. That's not really anything I could say to be a leader. But I'm just trying to be a good guy, be a good teammate, have my teammates back at the end of the day.
Kyle mentioned he's still kind of learning your skill set and figuring out what you're best at and ways to sort of tailor the offense to what you do well. What's the biggest challenge for you from that standpoint, to being put through the ringer and seeing all of those things and how well you handle them, and what are you learning about yourself?
Everything's new. I know I'm sure Kyle said it's day 2. There's not really anything we're going to go out and change or delete or add. On day 2, we're going through it, and a lot of new guys. But I'm just trying to get better at everything I do. From day 1 to however many OTAs we get to have, how many 7-on-7 periods, whatever we get to have. I'm just going to try to get better every single set.
Does it amuse you when you see so many people have such strong opinions about how good or not you're going to be when you are done?
I was just talking to Peter about this actually. In the most respectful way possible. It doesn't change how I feel about you guys as people, but I really don't necessarily. It's not my job to care what you guys say or anyone else on social media. For me, I care about what the guys in the locker room think and what my coaching staff thinks. At the end of that, that's my job. You guys, unfortunately, aren't the ones that are making decisions for me, or really have any effect on me in the most, again, respectful way possible. But I know everyone's got strong opinions one way or the other. Like I said, I'm gonna go out and try to prove people wrong, prove myself right. But I'm doing it for the guys in the locker room.
Trey, piggybacking, kind of a leadership question, maybe just feeling more comfortable, even in this setting, you just seem more at ease and probably able to be more yourself. Is that accurate? Do you feel more comfortable just talking?
This is the headline question, huh? Nah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you could say that. But I feel like I'm in a good spot right now, mentally, physically. I'm excited. I'm having a ton of fun out there with these guys, and it's only day 2. So getting to compete with our defense is another thing that, man, they talk a lot, but it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm excited for this year. Appreciate you guys.
All right, thank you guys. You got George.
Who's the biggest